The second fight of the evening is a lightweight contest.
My name's Josh Payne, fighting out of Sydney, Australia, representing Lions Den Academy. Predominantly a striker, well versed in wrestling and BJJ. Watch me on Martial Combat.
Josh Payne from Australia. I'm interested to see that his last fight was won by a spinning, let me see if I can get this right now, a spinning back fist. Can you describe what that is, Mitch?
A spinning back fist is actually where you turn your back to your opponent, and as you're turning, you come around with your rear hand and execute a backhanded punch, usually on the dominant side of your opponent. It's a tremendous knockout, and I believe he got the TKO spinning back fist at the Cage Fighting Championships in number 14.
Well, if we see anything like that tonight, I'll be extremely impressed. So it sounds like he does a full 360 and hits you with the back of his fist.
He spins completely around, turning his back to his opponent. It's a very dangerous move, but it's a very highly confident maneuver to execute. I was very impressed with it.
Yeah, it must leave you a little bit vulnerable, I must say, but that's the kind of fighter we're dealing with. One that likes to show his skills. From Australia, 70 kilos with a 6-4 record. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist. He's done some Muay Thai and has faced a much higher level of opposition than his opponent, who we'll be introduced to momentarily. Should have the advantage standing up, Josh Payne.
Hello, my name is Robert Washington. I'm originally from the U.S. I'm fighting out of Spike 22, located in Guam. I'm a striker, grappler. Watch me tonight in Martial Combat.
Really interesting character, Robert Washington, from Illinois in the United States by way of Guam. And you know a little bit about him, Mitch.
Yeah, Robert Washington, the Beast, is one of Sheerdog's top prospects to watch right now. He's a really exciting fighter. Now, he actually came to Guam as a naval officer with a wrestling background, and he just happened to take up MMA just to satisfy that competitive thirst that he had. He's a really exciting guy. He's a father. He's got 3 sons. And he's looking to really make a name for himself here at Martial Combat.
Yeah, he's a dedicated fellow. He feels that he's destined for the top, and this is a step up in class for him in many ways to fight here at Martial Combat. He's looking for it to be a stepping stone. He really wants to get to the heights in this sport, and let's see what he's capable of. He's got an unbeaten record of 8-0. Normally weighs a little bit heavier than the 72 kilos that we're seeing him at tonight, though. Any chance that he might have left any of his efforts in the gym?
I mean, it definitely comes down to how he handled the weight cut. If it was too much of a weight cut for him, this is his first time fighting at this weight, so I'm really looking forward to see how he handles the drastic loss in weight. He's especially in a new city, so we'll have to see how things go.
All right, this is a nice matchup, this one. Intrigued to see it. Robert Washington makes his way into the Martial Combat ring.
Fighting out of the blue corner, this man knocked out his last opponent with a spectacular spinning back fist. He stands at 173 centimeters tall and weighs in at an even 70 kilograms. With a professional MMA record of 6 wins and 4 losses, his nickname says it all. From Australia and representing Lions Den, it's Josh Major Payne! Fighting out of the red corner, this man is a full-time member of the U.S. Navy and a father of 3. He has over 14 years of wrestling experience and has fought some of the toughest fighters in competitions around the world. He stands at 100 71 centimeters tall and weighs in at 72 kilograms. Fighting out of Dream Gym from Illinois, USA, and from Guam, Robert the Beast Washington!
Well, both men look as if they're really thrilled to be here, actually. Look as if they're going to enjoy this contest, and Payne in particular seems to be a bit of a showman. We've already heard about the spinning back fist, and the way he greeted the camera during the introduction there tells us that he's going to try and put on a bit of a show for us. But Robert Washington seeing this as his opportunity to step up in class, and this one should be a really interesting contest.
Okay, gentlemen, come to the center. Okay, guys, I need you to listen to my instructions at all times and protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Step back to your points. You ready? You ready? Let's rock this time. Come on.
Well, as they came together in the center of the ring for the referee's instructions, it looked as if Payne was the slightly taller man, but Washington thicker and stronger looking through the torso.
You know, on paper, this is definitely striker versus grappler, but I believe Washington has worked extensively on his striking for this competition.
Both men leading with their left hands, so orthodox boxers. Although Washington has a tendency to stand a little bit square on as he is there. Much of that is because he's considering changing direction as he circles the ring. Payne tending to take the center of the ring way off with that left-right. They'll take a little bit of adjustment with their rangefinders before anything is connected. He'll have to tidy that up a bit, though. Nothing exchanged so far, and it may not be long before Stephen Percival. There you are. I think he heard me, encouraging these fighters to mix it a bit. He doesn't stand for any nonsense, Stephen Percival. He likes to see the action, as do we. And they've taken the invitation. It's Washington on top, digging in those punches to the ribs. Bit of knee work there as well. Back up they come.
Good work by Payne trying to get back up to his feet.
Takes an awful lot of strength to get from the canvas back up to your feet when you've got a man of your weight pressing on you for all his worth. Oh, good little right hand inside from Washington to Payne's jaw. Not so easy to see, but extremely effective.
A little bit of dirty boxing right now by both competitors.
Payne seems to be in a little bit of discomfort there, I must say. He's being, well, he's on the receiving end of some punches to the solar plexus. Back in the center of ring. Free of the clinch. Another opportunity. Oh, coming in with the right leg, Washington. He's the man that's doing the circling. Payne likes to take the center of the ring and inch his way in, and he just caught Washington coming the other way, which would have intensified the ferocity of that kick to Washington's left side. Payne, the man with his feet planted on the canvas. Washington more on his toes, a little bit bouncier. The hunted rather than the hunter. Payne really looking like the predator there, trying to cut him off in the ring and anticipate his movement, just so that he can double up on the power of his kicks and punches.
Payne looks to be having a little bit of trouble finding his range just because of the agility that Robert is bouncing around that ring. He's definitely on his bicycle as he shoots in. Attempts to take down, but Payne just shrugs it off.
Well, it's a 3-round contest, 5 minutes each round, so there is the opportunity to pace yourself, there's no question. It may not be long before Steve Percival asks them to mix it up. just so that things get a little bit more tasty. Payne's handwork does seem to be somewhat off the mark, doesn't it? I don't know whether that's a question of Washington. Well, I don't think it is. I was going to say it could be Washington producing some good evasive maneuvers, but the punches are just short.
Yep, Washington's really never in one spot very long, so it's really hard for Payne to get a good handle on his distance.
Question is, as Washington boxes in motion, in reverse much of the time, can he counter effectively? Well, he got on the end of a good punch there from Payne, and Payne, you could just see the aggression in his face. He saw the opportunity.
These guys are starting to throw some heavy bombs that are just narrowly missing.
And they're communicating as well. Washington is beckoning him in. Come on and try it, he says. That overhand right was a whisker away, and it was going to be a heavy blow. You can just see in Payne's face a little bit of annoyance. He wants to catch up with this man who's staying out of range consistently. That was a bit of a catch me if you can round. And have a look at Washington. He's done so much running that he's a little bit out of breath.
Here's the attempted takedown attempt by Washington. He just shrugs it off.
Just take us through these highlights, Mitch. There wasn't a great deal of contact between the two.
Well, Payne's just having a hard time finding his range, especially with his hands. And because Washington's just so mobile as he moves around. There's another narrow overhand right miss.
I was definitely detecting some frustration on the part of Josh Payne in the final minute of that round. You could see the annoyance that he wasn't able to catch up with Washington. Certainly Payne was the aggressor, but he's going to get frustrated quickly if he can't land the punches he wants to. You can see that.
Are you ready? You ready, man? Do it like fuck this guy. Come on.
Only the very best boxers can punch effectively going backwards. And Robert Washington wants to establish himself as one of the very best MMA fighters. So let's see what he's got. Again, Payne just not able to get close. He throws out a sort of half-half. Oh, what a good shot.
Nice right
and it
hand.
was a counter as well. Exactly what we were saying. And Payne did well to withstand that.
Rocked him for a minute, but he seemed to regain his senses rather quickly.
Full credit to Payne. He comes back with the left hand, but down he goes. Now, can Washington finish this? The punches will come in, but he's a bit tied up.
He seems to be bleeding out of his nose, it looks to be. Let's see what kind of guard.
That looks like a broken nose to me. In with the forearm and the elbow. Tough, tough business, as you can see.
Washington has some aggressive ground and pound in Payne's half guard.
Look at that blood along Payne's forehead. Hard to see where it's coming from. I don't think there's a cut there, although there could be something above the left eye. There's certainly blood streaming from somewhere. It's predominantly his nose. Yes, there's a cut above the left eye there, I think. And that's dangerous. As the blood rolls down the face, it could interfere with his vision. And Washington will be doing all he can to rough up that cut with those gloves across the face. Credit to Payne, who's fighting back. But this is a brutal business in round two. What a punch it was that initially connected, though.